Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel on Auvbri. My name is Renee and we're back here in The Sims 4. I know it's been a while, it's been a lot of confusing stuff with the streaming schedule, where I actually stream, so let me just make it totally clear here. I started streaming on Twitch because it was recommended to me. And then I found out from my good friend Simproofed that Twitch is actually treating their streamers like shit. There's a lot of things with the monetization, everything like that. And I was like, you know what? This is just too difficult. We're gonna go back to YouTube. And this time I'm gonna fucking stay here. I love YouTube. I love streaming on YouTube. So we're gonna stay here. The streaming schedule is gonna continue to stay the same. So it's gonna be Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays here on the channel at 7 p.m. CET, so Central European Time. That's it. So it's gonna be here on Monday, the 26th of June. We're gonna have a giveaway on the channel, so you might watch this video before the live stream, but I hope to see you guys there. And let's just jump into the video here. So I was so fortunate to play around with the expansion pack that came out, the Grow Together, and thank you to EA Creator Network for a chance to get this game. But I had so much fun with it. It's a really good pack. There's a lot of diversity, there's a lot of different items, combinations, a lot of different styles, and I really like that. So this is the first house I built in this new world with the new pack, and I actually wanted to just build a basic, I'm gonna say basic lighthearted here, but I wanted to build a basic family house. So there's something for everything. There's a place for grandma where she can live when she comes over to stay. There's a garage, there's multiple bedrooms, bathrooms, even a dirt room, or mud room, whatever you call that. So there's a little bit of everything here, and it actually turned out to be a freaking huge build. The first part of the build here I actually built on a live stream. It took such a long time to finish the build, but I knew I wanted to try my hand at one of these famous blue Suburbans, but I wanted to make it mine. So we kind of created our own style here with a ramp going up to the garage area. We have this porch area. We have a nice yard on the side. It's not the biggest lot, but it actually turned out really good. I was really happy with just the overall how everything looked and how everything turned out. So that being said, I will say that looking at the house now, there's of course always something that I want to change if I could, but I think it's really good. Like, I love the way that it turned out. The whole exterior of it's really good to me, and the interior is where I think we really shine. So on the stream, I believe we played for 2.5, almost 3 hours straight building this house, and just the whole experience with building this was so much fun. Then I went back in myself to actually finish off the interior, which took quite a long time. It's a big house, and it's normally with these houses I try to put in a lot of detailing that I normally wouldn't do. I also try to do something like, so there's a room and a space for everybody, whatever the story might be, trying to really just make sure that everybody has a place in the house, and everybody has like a space. That it's really hard to explain, but when I create these houses, I kind of have a story in mind. For example, a little while back I made the single mom rebellious teenage daughter build. I feel like that's a very clear story of what's actually going on, and the house reflected that. The same with this one. I wanted to have a huge family house where the grandma could come and live when she comes over unannounced, because it's the new part of the pack, and I thought that was really cool. I wanted to have a room for her. I wanted to have a room for all the kids, for the new kids. So I tried to just make everything and chuck it into this house, but still have an overall style and a vision for the whole thing, which was really great. Like, I had a lot of fun. So I think we're gonna go inside now. So the house contains, and correct me, but yeah, it's been a very long time since I actually built this, so I have a lot of I have a lot of videos just backed up that I need to do voiceover for. But because I'm also full-time streaming now 3 times a week, and have a full-time job, it's just about finding the time for it. But correct me if I'm wrong. We have 3 bedrooms upstairs. We have 1 bedroom downstairs for the grandma. We have like the kitchen we're working on now with a side pantry. We have a mud room just behind the kitchen. We have a downstairs bathroom as well, the dining room and the living room, and we have grandma's room downstairs. There's the garage area where you could definitely expand into if you wanted to, but I just wanted to have the garage area because I thought it fit in super well. And the kitchen is actually, it's a big kitchen, but it kind of looks small, smaller than what it might be. But I wanted to do this house justice, guys. I wanted it to be so good, and I really tried to figure out how the hell can we fit an island in here, because I needed that island. I needed it to like exist in this house. And I do believe on stream people were like, is there not gonna be a small little mud room bathroom thing? What's gonna happen with that? So I actually put that in as well, with the laundry room on the other side. So there's just a lot of rooms here, and I feel like we're gonna take them one at a time. But typical me, I'm just a little bit all over the place. So if I see something, this will go good against, or something like that, I'm gonna put it in at that moment, because otherwise I tend to forget. And that's just the way that it is. Like, I have so many ideas and I want to be like everywhere at once, but then I see something that grabs my eye and I'm like, for example, this looks really good, this would fit perfectly in the living room. Or we have this contact switch thing, this could look good in every room, why don't we do that? Because that adds extra detailing, stuff like that. So it's a moment, it's just my creative process, and I'm just kind of all over the place. I tried also in this build to use a lot of items from the new expansion pack. It's not exclusively that pack, so I do use a lot of different items from all of the packs, but exclusively I tried to see how many of the new items I could fit into this place without it actually being overcrowded. So for example, the new bookcases here, I was like, okay, these are really cool. Do they fit in anywhere? Like, can I fit them into the space where it actually makes sense? And there's a lot of new stuff here. The kitchen, I feel like this house is it's very clear that it is a family house, that there are a family living here. There are kids, their parents. It is reflected in the dining room, in the color schemes, just in the overall clutter level as well. I feel like it is reflected. So I tried to also make just the overall style really fun. You actually walk right into the whole dining room area. So I tried to kind of separate it, but you walk into it and then it's off to the side. I had a little bit of inspiration from Desperate Housewives in the Stavros household, where you kind of walk right into the dining room, living room, kitchen area. I had a little bit of that in mind when building this, but not completely. It's a good thing to have some style references or like a certain house in mind that you might have seen on TV, something like that. That actually helps quite a bit with manifesting the whole style of the house. One thing I didn't do too much in this house and actually tried to switch it up a bit is I tried to let the furniture, the color scheme of the furniture, all that, I tried to let that speak for itself and then put in the wallpaper afterwards. I usually do it the other way around. I have a wallpaper in mind and then I kind of build my rooms around that. It is something I like to switch up now and then because it gives a different vibe. And you could see here that I was like, okay, so maybe the blue wallpaper would actually fit better in here. And I do remember when we get upstairs, the wallpaper actually changes a little bit. In the room we were just in, the living room, so I had to cut around quite a bit in this stream here because it was just so long and it actually took me another 3 hours to finish up the build. But like the stream is live on the channel, you can always go watch it back. But I went into clutter mode, guys. Like I knew I wanted to have tons of clutter stuff around the place, and I just went into clutter mode here. Sometimes searching through the miscellaneous what is it called, the miscellaneous section is really difficult. I find it very tedious, especially when you have the Better Build Buy mod on where you literally have every single freaking item available to you from the live edit and from the debug mode as well. They're categorized, and because a lot of the items just don't have a real category, they just end up in the miscellaneous, which is interesting. Like there's a lot of different stuff in there, but it also means that it does take quite a long time sometimes for me to find one specific item that I'm looking for. And especially when I do clutter, and that's why sometimes it's just easier to build like these more modern minimalist houses because you won't have that much clutter into it. But as you can see, we're kind of jumping all around the place here with the whole. Now we're in the pantry. We have this small bathroom, but I thought it was very important to have a bathroom next to the mudroom here. For me it made sense, and we actually built this house off of a blueprint, so I had to change that a bit, seeing that of course The Sims is on a grid base, which means it's somewhat difficult to make one-to-one scale realistic houses. You can make amazing houses, but one-to-one scale is somewhat difficult. And the mudroom on that blueprint, I do believe it was a bit different. There also wasn't a toilet area downstairs. Here it was actually supposed to be next to the staircase, I believe, but we had to change that because the house would have ended up even bigger, and we just didn't have room for that. But I think it ended up really good. Like the mud room is cool. We have the laundry room, and now we kind of go over to where I took over and finished up the build myself. So in the living room here, this is the living space. We have a different color scheme in here, and I really wanted to see if we couldn't mix some styles, because those bookcases are somewhat retro but also a little bit modern, and I thought, you know, a lot of the items here actually are reminiscent of that in this pack. So for example, the couch, very retro, love the look of it, and I just wanted to have a room in here as well where it was okay that there were children toys around, and we could have like chests with toys, stuff like that. So I just tried to build a nice calming room, but still a room that would look nice. And I actually think it turned out quite good. Now, I was in this hallway here when you walk into the builds, and I was filtering out the expansion pack again to see like, what items can I use here? Is there some items that I'm missing or that we can possibly use in the in the hallway here? So you can see I'm still adding a lot of detail. I tried really hard to over detail everything. So when you have a very specific house like this, where it's a very, very clear vision of this being a family house, there's a lot of people living here, all that stuff, for me, adding a lot of clutter that would fit every single person or make it look lived in and believable actually adds to the whole vibe of the house. And this is Grandma's room. I had so much fun building this room. It's such a stereotypical room, but I love it. It turned out super cute, super cozy as well. It's definitely a style. Upstairs here is actually, I think I'm done downstairs, but upstairs, going into the master bedroom here, they actually have their own ensuite bathroom and walk-in closet, which was pretty cool, but it also did take up a lot of space. I was debating somewhat with myself if I was actually to kind of scale the master bedroom a bit back, make the ensuite bathroom a little smaller, you know, stuff like that. But I actually ended up keeping it exactly as it was. Oh, I'm adding more clutter. Fantastic. But I actually ended up keeping it exactly as it was. With the fireplace here, I had a little bit of a hard time because I wanted to have a fireplace. I think I remember that also in the stream people were also very enthusiastic about having a fireplace in the bedroom, that it would look good, but I did not know what to do with the style in here. The color scheme, like the items are very specific to this pack. I love a lot of the items, but a lot of the items are like the rugs, for example, is just something that I'm having the most trouble dealing with or actually finding out how to use that, because it's so far from the style that I like to build with. And the colors, I love a pop of color as much as the next one, but yeah, those are hefty to say the least, but I think it turned out really nice. I'm overall really happy with the whole vibe of the house. So I actually decided to make it a bit more of a muted house in here, just because the rest of the build was a lot of really, really strong colors, a lot of pop colors on the walls as well. So I thought, okay, the master bedroom, maybe it could just be a little bit more simple with the gray nuances, the gold, and then have somewhat of a pastel color on the walls instead. And I think it turned out really good. The walk-in closet here, I don't know why I love doing these, and I feel like it's because in real life, when I'm going to build my own house or buy my own house at some point, you best believe I'm going to have a walk-in closet. I need it, I want it, it's like the dream. So building it in The Sims is kind of fulfilling my fantasy of having that moment with the walk-in closet. I really want it. I was so close in the last apartment we lived in. It was not a full-on walk-in closet, but we had like full-on one wall, head to toe closet space with open closet and, you know, hangers, all that stuff. So I was so close, and then we moved and we had to sell those closets. So it was just like the dream was dead. It was taken away from me, but it's definitely still something that I really want. The ensuite master bathroom here, I didn't want to have a shower in here. I wanted to have just a tub. For me, I was having this whole thing with, you know, this is gonna be, it has to be a really relaxed place. It has to be a super cozy, I can just relax in here stay away from the kids kind of place. And that's kind of what I tried to do with the whole thing. So it's really simple, but that's kind of it. The landing deck here, when you get up to it, I also had a lot of trouble here. It's a very weird space with different halls and stuff like that. So I was like, what the hell, like, what are we gonna do in here? So I actually decided to make this like a little study area, create this whole study nook. So there was like, this was the only place there would be a computer. We could have more clutter. I do love a good clutter combination in this build apparently, but more clutter and just make it a full-on study nook, because I don't believe that the bedrooms, at least not all of them, have a dedicated desk space. I don't believe that. So I thought that just having this study nook up here would be a really good idea. I also brightened up the place quite a bit with changing the wallpaper from this really dark blue, which I love, my favorite color, to this more muted light blue, kind of like a baby blue, but it was a bit more muted. I thought it just complemented the whole place a little bit better. I needed to have a place for the baby, so we made this into a somewhat of a bit more a little, I don't know, I love the way that this room turned out. It's super cute. It's definitely a vibe in here, and it's just really simple. You know what this room is, you know what this room is used for. The color scheme, I think it turned out great with the blues and the kind of pastel green. Love the way that turned out. So it's just an easy little baby's room. You can always change it once your baby turns to a toddler and a teen, or child, teen, whatever. So yeah. So this is the teenage girls room. I was just like having a mind thing. Teenage girls room, not a lot of space in here, but I knew I wanted to keep it really girly, to kind of, you know, create the spaces. So maybe it might be somewhat typical of a teenage girl's room, but I was just using the items from the high school year, and the items in that pack just kind of have the color schemes that you want fit together, and I based the room around that. So blame the room or the expansion pack actually. But we had like a little closet space, we have 2 closet space, and then a little seating area, and that's kind of it. The last room here, the shared bathroom, or the second last, the shared bathroom, it's a bigger bathroom because 3 people or 2 teens and then 1 baby to be a child share this bathroom. I think it turned out really good. Like, you can see what kind of bathroom it is, you can see that it's used. There's like with the towels, I thought that was really cute, having these individual towels with the motifs on them, and some clothes everywhere, because you know one of them is just gonna throw the clothes. I thought that was really cool. And then I remembered I totally forgot to put in the laundry baskets for the different for the different rooms, so we did that. And then in here, I actually do believe this was for a boy, a child boy. So the girl would be the oldest, and a child boy or girl, you can make it into whatever. I made this a somewhat neutral room, but I just loved the way that this turned out. Like with the big tent, you can really see that this room, what it's meant for. I love that. So it turned out super cute as well with the clouds. Just a lot of really good items for the kids, I must say. And the garage is the last thing. I couldn't see or tell what this room was for, but the garage is the last thing. I love the way that this house turned out. The garage is super simple. At this point, I was a little bit burned out with this build. I didn't know what to do. I just needed it to be done. I put in lots of bikes here, of course. obscuring everything so you can't get into the garage proper, because the kids just park their bikes everywhere. But I thought that was just kind of fun, having two different cars, like a minivan and the other one, and then just basic garage stuff, some storage. That's kind of it. The last thing we're gonna do is the backyard. Now, because this was so small, I knew I wanted to have the swing set, because why wouldn't you have a swing set? And then I tried to figure out what to do with the rest of it, and I actually think that we just put in the grill area, like the little barbecue area, a place for seating, and that's kind of it. It's a big family house, and I think this is it. Of course, the sex bush, we gotta have those, otherwise it wouldn't be a completed build. I will forever put in that bush. I love that. And here we have the screenshots. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's super good to be back again. Remember the streaming schedule. Remember to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. It helps me out. Great big deal. The build is on the gallery right now. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. CET. So come join in. And sometimes there's giveaways, sometimes we just hang out and have fun. Every Friday is horror day, so if you like to watch me get scared, because I do, we're currently playing Resident Evil 2 Remake, and it was horrible. I'm gonna upload the Resident Evil stuff to a game, so you can watch that back if you haven't watched it on Twitch. And yeah, I think, I mean, look at this room. It's just super cute. You can definitely tell who lived in that. This room as well. Love the way that it turned out. The amount of clutter that I actually managed to get into this build is kind of beyond me. It's really crazy. I love the way that everything just turned out. I hope you like it too. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about the build. Man, there's a lot of screenshots here. I forgot how big this house was, honestly. When I sat down to edit this, I totally forgot how big the house was. But yeah, it is on the gallery right now. I think I'm done blabbering, so I'm just gonna let you guys go over to keep watching the screenshots here. I hope to see you guys next time here on the channel for another video or live stream. And remember to subscribe to A Game. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. Have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I hope to see you next time for another video or live stream here on the channel. Bye guys.